I cross my own slow meridian around the midnight hour each night. The line between who I have been and who I'm trying to get right. Slow meridian, the crossing point where everything gets too annoyed. Slow meridian, mine to cross without the weight of gain or loss. Slow meridian, night by night, finding a way to get it right. Not every crossing feels like progress. Some nights I cross the same line twice, but each meridian is a process of deciding what will now suffice. Slow meridian, the crossing point where everything gets too annoyed. Slow meridian, mine to cross without the weight of gain or loss. Slow meridian, night by night, finding a way to get it right. Crossing again, the same line, differently. That counts. The warmth lives in the peripheral of the things I'm not quite watching. Not dramatic, not empirical, just the warmth at the edge of catching. Warm peripheral, just inside, at the soft edge of the light. Warm peripheral, close and near, the warmth that makes the dark feel clear. There's a low language in the evening that doesn't need words to be said. A warmth in the quiet receiving of everything left instead. Low language felt not heard, below the reach of any word. Low language, warm and clear. The language only felt from near. Low language, deep and wide. The language of the inside. I've learned to speak in low language, in the warmth of close and still, in the barely there and manage of the quiet against my will. Low language felt not heard, below the reach of any word. Low language, warm and clear. The language only felt from near. Low language, deep and wide. The language of the inside. Speaking in low language, being understood anyway. That's the best kind of communication. I live inside a blue radius of everything I call my own. The circle of my daily status, the orbit I have always known. Blue radius, soft and mine. Everything inside this line. Blue radius, cool and wide. Everything I hold inside. Blue radius, this is home. The circle where I'm not alone. The last light in the building burns across the street from where I sit. Someone else who slowly learns the night is where the pieces fit. Last light, we are not alone, even in the dark, even on our own. Last light, burning soft and low, keeping back what we don't know. Last light, warm across the air. Someone out there, someone there. I raise my cup toward the glow, a quiet toast to strangers up late. We'll never meet, we'll never know, but tonight we share the same soft state. Last light, we are not alone, even in the dark, even on our own. Last light, burning soft and low, keeping back what we don't know. Last light, warm across the air. Someone out there, someone there. Last light, still burning, not alone. The city burns on low tonight. Not fierce, not fast, just slow and deep. A million lives, a million lights, and I'm the only one not asleep. Slow burn city, soft and vast, nothing rushed, nothing fast. Slow burn city holds me still, wrapped in its electric chill. I watch the taxis cut through dark, their headlights paint in yellow lines. I sit alone inside this machine in my body keeps working through the night. Not perfectly, not godly, but doing its quiet right. Soft machine, still running, still doing what it does. Soft machine, warm inside, holding everything with quiet pride. Soft machine, worn and true, still doing what it needs to do. I've been harsh with the mechanics of this body, this tired frame. Skipping care and feeding panics, treating urgency like a game. Soft machine, still running, still doing what it does. Soft machine, warm inside, holding everything with quiet pride. Soft machine, warm and true, still doing what it needs to do. Be gentle with the soft machine. It's doing its best. It's always doing its best. The good things accumulate so slowly, you barely notice them arriving. The warmth, the ease, the something holy that comes from quietly surviving. Slow accumulation, grain by grain, not dramatic, not a refrain. Slow accumulation, soft and real, more than I expected to feel. One good sleep, one honest meal, one conversation that felt real. One moment when the city breathed, and I breathed with it, relieved. Slow accumulation, grain by grain, not dramatic, not a refrain. Slow accumulation, soft and real, more hold dear. Ambient proof, low and wide, present on the inside. I don't need grand declarations, no monuments to what There's a quiet undertow in evenings that pulls me toward the deeper place. Not danger, just the gentle leanings of the self toward its truest space. Quiet undertow, soft pull. Everything becoming full. Quiet undertow, drawing near. Everything I hold most dear. Quiet undertow, low and wide, pulling gently from inside. I used to fight the undertow, the pull toward the still and deep. Now I let the quiet go and follow it to where I sleep. Quiet undertow, soft pull. Everything becoming full. Quiet undertow, drawing near. Everything I hold most dear. Quiet undertow, low and wide, pulling gently from inside. Being pulled gently and with purpose into the quiet deep. The slow return to who I am takes longer than I thought it would. Not dramatic, not a program, just quietly becoming good. Slow return, no need to rush. Back to self is not a rush. The slow return, step by step, back doesn't ask permission. I can't explain the when or how, just the quiet of this condition. Low season, soft and real. Not everything needs to be healed. Low season, let it be. This is just a part of me. Low season, slow and fair. Something restful in the bear. The trees don't panic when they're bare. They just wait inside the cold. They trust that something will be there when the season starts to fold. Low season, soft and real. Not everything needs to be healed. Low season, let it be. This is just a part of me. Low season, slow and fair. Something restful in the bear. Even bare things have their beauty. I'm starting to believe that. I've been running on borrowed warmth, on the heat that others left behind. In the rooms that knew a different worth, in the moments left by those more kind. Borrowed warmth, still enough to get through all the cold and rough. Borrowed warmth, real and true, even when it comes from you. There's no shame in taking borrowed light from those who left it for you here. The warmth that gets you through the night doesn't have to be originally clear. Borrowed warmth, still enough to get through all the cold and rough. Borrowed warmth. infrastructure of a life is all the invisible support. The things that hold away the strife that no one ever seems to court. Soft infrastructure holding still everything beneath the wheel. Soft infrastructure, warm and white, everything that holds you inside. Friends who check in quietly, the routines that keep the dark away, the habits working privately to get you through another day. Soft infrastructure holding still everything beneath the wheel. Soft infrastructure, warm and white, everything that holds you inside. You don't notice infrastructure until it's gone. So notice it now while it's still working, still holding you up, still here. The soft infrastructure still holding. Think it sometimes. My memory works like morning fog. It covers everything in soft. I reach for something sharp and clear and find it muted, find it lost. Fog memory, softer than the truth. The gentler version of my youth. Fog memory, warm and thin, protecting me from the evidence of change accumulates without announcement. Nothing dramatic, nothing strange, just the quiet of its pronouncement. Slow evidence, grain by grain. Nothing dramatic in the game. Slow evidence, soft and clear. The proof of change is finally here. I look for it in small things, in the way I handle mornings now, in the quiet that the evening brings, without the noise of how and how. Slow evidence, grain by grain. Nothing dramatic in the game. Slow evidence, soft and clear. The proof of change is finally here. Change is slow, and the evidence is slower, but it accumulates, and one day you see it all at once. There's the evidence right there in the ordinary. I've changed. Between stations is the most honest part of any journey through the city. When you're nowhere, when the trip is dark, between the destination and the pretty. Between stations, nowhere quite, just the tunnel and the light. Between stations, mine to hold, the space between the stories told. I've made a home of in between, the transit of the not yet there, of what I'm going toward or from, the honest middle of the air. Between stations, nowhere quite, just the tunnel and the light. Between stations, mine to hold, the space between the stories told. The destination is overrated. The in-between is where it lives. The between stations By the time the city settles down, something in me starts believing in the quiet under all the sound. Interior weather, mind to read. No forecast for what I need. Interior weather, soft and real. The only climate I can feel. There's a warmth that builds by nightfall, in the space between the thought and word. A kind of gentle inner rainfall that washes clean